Hello everyone and welcome back to the Expensive Coins History channel. Today we are exploring one of the most talked about and frequently misunderstood coins in modern British numismatics, the 1977 Queen Elizabeth II one-new penny. Many people believe it to be rare, valuable, or even a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. But what is the truth of this coin? Why is it talked about so often? And what is it really worth today, in 2025? This video will give you the most complete and detailed explanation you'll ever find. The story begins in the 1970s, a decade defined by change, modernization, and a shift in the United Kingdom's monetary system. Just 6 years earlier, in 1971, Britain had abandoned its centuries-old pounds, shillings, pence system and adopted decimal currency. This change was massive, affecting everything from shop prices and vending machines to accounting and everyday life. As part of this transition, the Royal Mint created a brand new series of coins, and one of the most recognizable was the one-new penny. The 1977 issue of this coin belongs to the early decimal years, a time when the Royal Mint still used the words, "new penny," on all 1p coins. This wording helped distinguish the new decimal coins from the old pre-decimal ones that still lingered in pockets and drawers around the country. That's why your 1977 penny says, "new penny," on the reverse, because that was completely normal for the time, not an error, not a rarity, and not a special edition. On the front of the coin is a beautifully detailed portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This version of her likeness is known as the second portrait, created by artist Arnold Machin. It shows the Queen in a clean, graceful profile wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. Around the edge runs the Latin inscription that marked her royal authority throughout her reign. This portrait appeared on British coins for more than 2 decades and became one of the most recognized royal images in modern history. Flip the coin over, and you're greeted with the iconic crowned portcullis, an ancient symbol associated with the Palace of Westminster. It represents security, authority, and the strength of British government. Beneath it, the denomination is spelled out clearly, "new penny." Under that sits the number 1, marking its face value. The design is clean, balanced, and timeless. The coin is made of bronze, a metal blend that gives it a rich, reddish-brown tone. At just over 3 grams in weight and about 20 millimeters in diameter, it's a familiar and comfortable size. It has a smooth, plain edge, typical of lower denomination coins. And, importantly, it carries no mint mark. Many new collectors become excited when they notice the lack of a mint mark and assume it must be rare. However, British decimal pennies simply did not use mint marks at that time. Every circulating 1p coin struck for everyday use had no mint mark, making the absence of one completely standard. The Royal Mint produced a huge number of these coins in 1977, hundreds of millions. That means the 1977 penny is one of the most common decimal pennies of its decade. They appeared in purse jars, were spent on school snacks and train fares, dropped between couch cushions, and clinked through countless transactions for many years. Millions of people handled them daily, yet despite this commonness, a cloud of misunderstanding has formed around this coin in recent years. Many online listings showcase the 1977 penny at extremely high asking prices, giving the impression that it is valuable or extremely rare. Some sellers intentionally or unintentionally mislead buyers by presenting the coin as a rare mistake or special misprint. Others confuse it with actual rare decimal coin errors from nearby years, especially certain 2p coins from the early 1980s that really do have valuable mistakes. Because of this confusion, countless people begin to believe that simply owning a 1977 new penny means they've uncovered a treasure, but in the world of numismatics, where factors like rarity, mintage, demand, and condition determine value, the 1977 penny's true value comes from its condition rather than its date. A standard circulated 1977 penny, meaning one that has been used in everyday life, is extremely common. Collectors often already have multiple copies, and the sheer volume of surviving coins keeps prices modest. However, coins in sharply higher condition can attract more interest. A 1977 penny that has never been spent, never banged against other coins, and still carries its original mint luster can be more appealing. Such uncirculated examples may fetch higher prices, though still not extraordinary ones, because the Royal Mint also produced many high-grade coins for collectors through annual mint sets. Special proof coins exist as well. These were struck using polished dies and special techniques that result in a mirror-like finish. Proof versions of the 1977 penny can be more desirable than circulation coins due to their beauty and higher production quality, but they remain widely available. They are collectible but not considered rare. Occasionally, someone might come across what appears to be an error coin, perhaps a slight misstrike, unusual coloration, or minor die mark. While dramatic minting errors can be valuable, the vast majority of minor irregularities add little or no premium to this particular coin because the base coin is so common. So what is the real-world market value of the 1977 Queen Elizabeth II new penny in 2025? A simple circulated 1977 penny typically carries only a modest value in the collector's market. It may sell for a small amount above face value, mostly for its historical interest rather than scarcity. In extremely fine condition, it might attract a little more attention, but the price jump remains small. An uncirculated or mint state example shines bright with preserved detail and can be worth a little more, though it is still accessible and affordable. A beautifully preserved proof example can bring a higher price, but due to large production runs, even proof versions remain within reach for most collectors. Despite its low monetary value, the 1977 penny has lasting cultural and historical significance. It represents an important era for British currency, captures the elegance of Queen Elizabeth II's early portrait, and reflects a decade of transition and modernization. Even if not financially rare, it holds sentimental and symbolic value. If you have one of these coins, take a moment to examine it. Look at the details on the Queen's portrait. Study the portcullis design. Notice the glow of the bronze. These small details tell a bigger story about a changing Britain and the evolution of its currency. The coin may not make you rich, but it connects you to a moment in history. As we bring this deep dive to a close, remember that not every collectible coin is valuable because of its price. Sometimes, its worth comes from the history it carries and the memories it preserves. And that is something no price tag can fully capture. 1980 Queen Elizabeth II new penny 1p coin with no mint mark. This coin, simple and familiar to millions of people who lived through the 70s, 80s, and 90s, has recently gained attention among new collectors who are curious whether this common piece of bronze could be worth a considerable amount of money in today's market. As interest in old change grows and more individuals search their drawers and boxes for forgotten treasures, it becomes important to separate fact from fiction and to understand the real history and market value behind this particular coin. The story of the 1980 new penny begins years earlier with the United Kingdom's major monetary changeover known as decimalisation. For centuries, Britain used pounds, shillings, and pence, a traditional system that was rich in history but complicated for everyday calculations. In 1971, the UK transitioned to a decimal currency system where 100 new pence equaled £1. This decision reshaped the entire landscape of British coinage and required a complete redesign of circulating coins. The new penny denomination was introduced to represent this modernized money system, and for the first decade after decimalisation, the word new was printed on the penny and 2-penny coins to distinguish them from the older pre-decimal issues. By 1980, the country had fully adapted to the new system, and the new penny remained a standard part of Britain's circulating coinage. The 1980 version of the penny carried the second official portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This portrait, designed by Arnold Machin, is one of the most recognizable images of the Queen ever used on British coinage. It features a youthful profile of the Queen facing to the right, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. Her name and royal title surround the portrait in Latin, forming a classical, dignified frame that symbolized her long reign and the monarchy's presence on every circulating coin. Turning to the reverse of the coin, the design is simple, elegant, and very much in keeping with the style of the early decimal period. The center features a crowned portcullis, a symbol associated with British Parliament and one that reflects centuries of British political heritage. Above the portcullis appears the inscription New Penny, and below it is the value 1. The reverse designs of early decimal coins were made to appear modern, clean and distinct while still connecting to traditional British imagery. The 1980 penny fits squarely into this era and is often remembered fondly by collectors and anyone who grew up using these coins in daily life. The coin itself is made of bronze, giving it that warm, reddish-brown color that becomes instantly recognizable the moment it catches the light. Bronze coins naturally darken or tone with age, and many examples today have taken on deeper shades depending on where and how they were stored. The coin weighs roughly 3.5 grams and measures a little more than 20 millimeters across. The edge is smooth, the coin is sturdy, and the materials used at the time were intended to withstand decades of circulation. Many 1980 new pennies did exactly that, spending years jingling in pockets, being exchanged at shops, and sitting in cash registers all across the country. One question that appears often about this coin involves the lack of a mint mark. Some people assume that a missing mint mark indicates a rare error or special variety, but this is not the case. British circulation coins of this era almost never included mint marks. The Royal Mint in Lantricent produced the nation's circulating coinage, and because it was the sole production facility for standard coins, mint marks simply were not used. Therefore, every normal 1980 new penny has no mint mark. What some people believe to be an error is, in fact, the standard and expected design. This is important to remember, because misinformation online has created the false impression that a no-mint mark version is rare or valuable when, in reality, this describes all genuine circulation examples. Another important aspect of the 1980 penny is its mintage. More than 400 million of these coins were struck, making it one of the most common decimal-era pennies produced during that time. When a coin reaches this level of mass production, it immediately becomes a common issue in numismatics. Even though the coin is now several decades old, millions of examples still exist in homes, in collections, and in boxes of old change. This is what numismatists refer to as a high-availability coin. Its abundance in the marketplace means it does not carry the scarcity premium that pushes values upward in the world of coin collecting. Despite this, the coin does hold considerable nostalgic and historical interest. Many individuals keep it not because it is rare or expensive but because it reminds them of a certain period in their lives. For others, it forms an essential part of a complete date run of decimal pennies, especially collectors who aim to preserve every year of Queen Elizabeth II's coinage. For new collectors, it often serves as an entry point into learning about British currency, grading, and the evolution of coin designs. One topic that must be covered carefully is the wave of myths and exaggerated claims that circulate online about the 1980 new penny. In recent years, certain websites and social media posts have spread the idea that this coin might be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars or pounds. These posts often show screenshots of unrealistic online listings or misunderstandings about extremely rare coin types from different years. The reality is far simpler and more grounded. The 1980 penny is not a rare coin, it is not an error coin, and it is not one of the high-value decimal rarities that can occasionally bring large sums at auctions. Its value is driven by condition and collector demand, not by any hidden rarity or special variation. Grading is the most influential factor in determining what a 1980 penny might be worth. Coins that were used heavily in circulation, showing significant wear, dull surfaces, numerous marks, and faded details, are considered lower-grade examples. These coins usually have little to no premium above their face value. They are historically interesting but not valuable as collectibles. Coins in better shape, with lighter wear and clearer details, may be more attractive to collectors who are assembling a full set of pennies from the 1970s and 1980s. These pieces might sell for a small amount more, but the difference is modest. The coins that stand out most are the uncirculated examples. These are the pennies that were either never used or were set aside by collectors from the moment they were minted. Uncirculated coins may still show full original luster, meaning the bright, almost reflective surface created by the minting process remains intact. These pieces not only look beautiful but also represent the condition in which the coin originally left the mint. Uncirculated examples can command higher prices because they are much scarcer than circulated ones, even though the coin itself is common by mintage. The best of these may be sent to professional grading services, where they are evaluated under strict numismatic standards and assigned a numerical grade. While such graded coins can have some added value, the overall range remains modest because the underlying issue is not rare. Now we come to the question that many viewers want answered: what is the true value of the 1980 Queen Elizabeth II new penny in 2025? The most direct answer is that the typical circulated example remains worth very little on the open market. Most circulated coins trade for only a minimal amount above face value. They are extremely common, easy to find, and plentiful in the marketplace. Lightly circulated examples may bring slightly more, but not enough to be considered a high-value coin. Uncirculated examples, particularly those with bright luster and excellent preservation, may sell for a few dollars or a few pounds. These prices reflect collector interest rather than scarcity. Professionally graded mint state coins with high grades may also carry a modest premium, but even these do not rise into the high-value range. In summary, the 1980 new penny is a common coin whose worth depends mainly on its condition rather than on any rarity. For collectors, the best approach to handling this coin is appreciation for its historical significance and its place in the broader story of British currency. It represents an era of transition, a time when the nation moved from the complexities of pre-decimal money to the clarity of a modern decimal system. Even though the coin is not rare, it serves as a tangible reminder of that important change. Collectors who value history, design, and completeness will still seek well-preserved examples for their collections. Those who find one should store it properly if it is in good condition. Using protective holders, coin flips, or capsules will preserve the metal from further wear. Avoid cleaning the coin, as cleaning can severely damage the surface and remove any collector value it may have. Instead, allow the coin to retain its natural patina and character. The 1980 Queen Elizabeth II new penny is a coin that holds historical charm and nostalgic appeal, but it does not carry the rarity or high monetary value often associated with sought-after collector pieces. Its true worth lies in its role as part of Britain's modern monetary story and as a familiar icon of everyday life during the late 20th century. While it may not make anyone rich, it remains an interesting and important piece of decimal coinage. If you enjoyed this extended deep dive into the 1980 new penny and want more long-form numismatic explorations, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another detailed coin analysis. Feel free to comment below if you own one of these coins or if you would like a full evaluation of another coin in your collection. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to sharing more coin history and discoveries with you in the next video.